A budding relationship. Thanks for joining in today, and we've got a little bit of a mess on our hands. But before I get into all this, let's go ahead and get on with what I said we were going to do next, and that's going to be joining scrap electrical wire copper with scraps of wood blocks. So this is merely a prototype, right? So I've got these two little scrap pieces, and I can turn them into perhaps a bracket. So the concept is going to be, I'm going to come off the back end with these pins, and I'm going to configure them so that they'll go into the pegboard as you would expect. And eventually we'll see, my original idea was to thread the copper piece and then drill a small pilot hole in the wood blocks. And I think I'll eventually do that, but my die set does not go that small, tap and die set. So we're just going to go with an insertion, because I think you could conceive of this actually just being friction fit. It doesn't need to screw in. If you even wanted to go the extra mile because you felt like you wanted those to be in there permanently, you could glue them in, I suppose. But we're just for now, going to use this as a prototype. So let's see how we do. All right, let's take a look at this. I don't know if this is true for you, but it is for me. Whenever I'm looking for the tool I need, I never have it in the shop. It's always either in my garage or in my work vehicle. But if I need it in the work vehicle, it's usually out here. But in this case, I've got at least enough redundancy to have this old Black & Decker 3/8 inch drill that I can use on this particular project. So we'll use that. That's over in my metalworking area, which it was my wife's grandfather's. So it's interesting to use. I like to use it, and I kind of use it sparingly because I think, well, I don't want to burn the motor out. I don't want it to, I don't want to wreck it, basically. I'd like to keep using it as much as I possibly can, but it's a limited use kind of item. And this collar key has lost some of its bite over the years, so it doesn't always tighten up the chuck, but we go with it. And if we need to, we can address it at a later date. So what I need to do now is figure out of all the things that I do not have a measuring tape out here. Ooh, I know what I could use. I do have a measuring device. Well, this won't help me. But I may as well just bring those things over here and have them. I have this little square. So we are at 3/4. So we're going to mark that. Just put a mark there. Mark there. I mean, this is just a prototype. We're not really, we can get all fancy about it. It's probably, yeah, that should work. What I maybe will do, I don't know if that's too far down. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to measure down. Just eyeballing it, not anything, like I say, just a prototype. So in that case, if we find that the one isn't working that well, we can try the other. And if we want, we can go with 2. So I'm just going to zip this in here. Now I think I came out. Nope, I didn't come out on the other side. Now let's see if we find our piece of copper. Where'd that run off to? Well, there it is. And it's a nice snug fit. Yeah, just really seated in there, I guess. Now, what kind of hook do we need out of this thing? That, I guess, is the concept. I don't know if that's going to go in there, but let's try. All right, so here goes. Yeah, I can see already. It's just, it sticks out too far. I don't know if you can see that, but I can't, there's not enough of a you know, so I think we're out too far here, and we're not out far enough here. So we're not out far enough here, and we're, come on, focus. So we're not out far, we're too far out on the top, and we're not out far enough on the bottom. So let's do a tweak. Decided to want to spin in there. Well, it goes, but it's not ideal. So this really isn't working. This isn't working so far, but we're going to keep on it and see what we come up with. All right, that's what I came up with. I basically bent this up, right? I bent it back onto itself, and we'll see if this kind of could slide in there. No, it's still not wanting to go. Now, it's a little wobbly, but let's take our second one and see how we go and see what we end up with. I spend a little time straightening it here. I'm just, you know, I don't have anything really here as far as my normal tools. Let's see. Oh, here we go. My son gave me a bunch of these. These were in his garage when he sold his house. Well, when he bought his house, and then when he sold it, and he didn't want them, so he just gave them to me. So I'm always open to receiving tools, because then I can double up. You know, I can have a set here and a set there, and it's just better that way. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you know, there might even be a straightener. I'm not sure if there is or not. That's pretty specialty, I would think. But we'll go ahead and just insert that in there. Send it all the way down. And we've got plenty. So let's see. We'll go with that. So there it is. It's not ideal. It really is. It still needs some tweaking, but you get the idea. It's holding that in place, and that's gonna stay. But we do need to do some more work on it. And so we have Herrick Kimball and Whitworks providing me the impetus to use scrap, copper, and scrap wood to fill up my pegboard. So thank you for giving me what I need to use pegboard in any event. Now, there was one other channel, and I would be remiss and that is the art of boat building. And really there, the inspiration for modeling was called out. And I think the reason that that's important is because on the last video, just to give you a little backstory, I went inside for a short while. I think maybe to grab some lunch and do some stuff on the computer inside. And when I came back out, I looked up at the pegboard and I saw the manufactured hook hanging in the wall. And I had just watched the art of boat building. He was trying to figure out which boat he would build out of all the various sailboats that he could build. When he landed on a boat to build the Haven, he promptly built a model, and he speaks about the model as a means to understand the construction before you begin to build the full-scale version. It gives you insights into order of operation, perhaps. I can only imagine, right? And once you've built the model and have an understanding of the components and the order of operation or order of installation, then you have a working model in front of you that you can reference, not only to look at, but kind of go back in your mind and think, now, did I deal with this when I was building the model? A budding relationship. Muse menagerie. Coalescing collisions. Craft nouveau nuance.